Gangster pastor dated two of the baddest man them in a JA ex-cop. A retired police inspector testified on Wednesday that Stephanie MUMMA Christie, a St. Thomas pastor and a now alleged main operative of the One Dan faction of the Klansman gang, had told him that she was the gang's leader woman and the baby mother of another reputed underworld strongman, Leighton Livity. The former officer said Christie made the assertions to him when she visited the Spanish Town police station in 2017 and attempted to bribe him with 100,000 in exchange for the release of the leader of the One Dan faction of the Klansman gang, Blackman Brian. The ex-cop, who has referred to himself as a gang expert, began on Tuesday to give details into the operations of the Klansman gang, which he said had several factions, including the One Dan breakaway group. In the testimony on Wednesday, the witness said Brian was in police custody, and by September 2017, he was scheduled to conduct an interview with him at the Spanish Town police station. On the day of the interview, the officer said one of his colleagues told him that a woman outside wanted to speak with him urgently. The now retired investigator said he subsequently left the interview inside the station and went outside, where he met a woman who introduced herself as Stephanie Christie Cole, also known as MUMMA. Previous evidence presented at the trial indicated that Christie was married to a religious man in St. Thomas and herself a pastor. She was arrested in 2019 on the day that her husband was to be ordained as a bishop, police investigators previously testified. It was also heard in a secret recorded cell phone conversation that Christie's boyfriend in the gang was Fabian Johnson, alias Crux. She admitted to this on a recording that was played in court last month. After telling the court the identity of the woman who wanted to speak to him on that day in 2017, prosecutors asked the retired cop to identify Christie in court. He subsequently identified her, saying, "That's the great MUMMA," in continuing to detail the day he met Christie. The retired inspector said she told him that she was Livity Coke's baby mother and the G's woman. Livity is the alias for Leighton Coke, a brother of Tivoli Gardens strongman Christopher Dudus Coke, who is incarcerated overseas on drugs-related charges. G, meaning general, is one of the many aliases of Brian. The inspector said Brian was noticeably happy when he was referred to as G by anyone. Brian, while seated in the prisoner's dock in court, shook his head repeatedly as the officer testified, looking furious on occasions. In reflecting on the day he met Christie, the retired lawman said he asked the purported pastor how she managed to have two of the baddest man them in a Jamaica. In response, he said Christie said, "Me think up like that, Me think up like that." The witness did not elaborate on what Christie was referring to. It was at that moment the then police said Christie asked him what she could do to have G released from custody. "Anything can happen, the retired investigator recalled the woman saying, as she tried to sway him to do her bidding. He said it was at that point that she offered him 100,000 for Brian release from custody. "At this me no girl," the investigator recalled saying in response to Christie's offer. "You have two of the baddest man them, and you want half of me 100,000, you mad? A two rifle, you have to give me," he added. According to the former police investigator, Christie gave assurance that what he wanted would be given to him. "No problem. Once the G come out, that she said," the witness stated. Following the conversation, the officer said he went inside the police station to conduct the interview with Brian. The then senior investigator told the court that he did not charge Christie for bribing him because he believed she could assist him with getting information on the One Dan breakaway faction of the Klansman gang. On that premise, he said he befriended her because he was also of the belief that the woman was an influential member of the gang. Based on further interactions with Christie, the witness said he discovered that she was trying to use him to gain information into his probe of the alleged criminal network. The witness said he then used the situation to his advantage and played along with Christie by misleading her in the process. He disclosed during his evidence in chief that he used the gangster clergywoman to ascertain the real name of the alleged top gangster who is known as Citypuss. According to the former officer, he heard several voice notes from Citypuss threatening business persons in Spanish Town with demands for extortion money, but the gangster warned them not to tell police about the threats and extortion. The retired policeman said the threats were issued while Citypuss was incarcerated, based on information which he said was given to him by Christie. The witness said he went to the Horizon Adult Remand Center and confirmed that Citypuss was the alias for Jason Brown, who was a convict. The officer said while at the remand center, he asked to speak with Citypuss, given the fact that the gangster's real name was the same name Christie had given him. According to the lawman, the convict replied to the alias Citypuss. He noted too that the gangster's voice matched the ones on the voice notes that were heard, with threats being issued to business persons from Spanish Town. The retired policeman said on the day he met Citypuss, having dressed down for the occasion, he engaged in an hour-long conversation with him, during which he pretended to be a gangster and spoke of things the incarcerated gangster Citypuss knew in order to make him feel comfortable enough to reveal information. After the expiration of the conversation, the retired investigator said he revealed to Citypuss his true identity as a member of the police force. He said he then told the gangster that he was charging him with gang-related offenses. And that is when all things broke loose, the officer told the court, adding that Citypuss' true gangster persona came out when he cursed several expletives. Citypuss then reportedly issued several threats and became further enraged, the retired lawman stated. According to his testimony on Tuesday, the retired Jamaican Constabulary Force member was a 30-year-old veteran of the security force, and he was both trained and certified as a gang expert. But trial judge Chief Justice Brian Skies refused to acknowledge the retired lawman as an expert witness, noting that this was not stated in his statement to the police. During his tenure in the force, the now retired lawman said he spent years focusing on the main gangs in St. Catherine, including the Klansman, One Order, Umbrella, and Young Generation gangs. He further testified that he interviewed close to 300 members of the Klansman and One Order gangs. He said the Klansman gang and other breakaways of it were notorious for extorting of public passenger vehicles and business, as well as trafficking in illegal guns and drugs. Brian, 31 other men, and one woman are being tried under the Criminal Justice Suppression of Criminal Organization Act 2014, better known as the Anti-Gang Legislation, and an indictment with 25 counts. They have been charged with multiple offenses, including being part of a criminal organization, illegal possession of firearm, illegal possession of ammunition, facilitating conspiracy to murder, and facilitating arson. The offenses were allegedly committed between January 1st, 2015 and June 30, 2019 in St. Catherine. Yes, my viewers, please remember to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, leave a comment in the comment section, turn on your post notification for your latest news and reviews. Let me know what you guys think about Stephanie Christie MUMMA. We are there with two of the biggest than them, two bodies man them in Jamaica, two of the bodies man them in Jamaica. Yes, I try to bribe the police and them thing there. Leave a comment in the comment section, let me know what you guys